Our next speaker is a veteran in software delivery and product engineering tribes, combines her technical background with her people skills to help organizations go from teams to tribes. She is part of unFIX company core team, and as much as she loves talking about organizational design, Kadri is also a mom and part of an improv theater group. The title of her speech is Unlocking Human Potential, Empowering Individuals with Transforming Performance Reviews. Please give a large stretch welcome to Kadri Pirn.
Oh, hello everybody. So I'm here to talk about performance reviews. And yesterday I met a couple of people and then I said that I'm talking about performance reviews. There was silence after that. Why do you do that? Who want to talk about performance reviews? Well, I do. And to get to know you a little bit, I have a Mentimeter survey there. If you would be so lovely and go in and answer a couple of questions about performance reviews, so I can maybe talk a little bit more, I can improvise, and I can tailor it for you. So let's try how this clicker works. While you answer your questions, a couple of words about me. As you just heard, I have been head of engineering for several organizations, and biggest and most exciting part of my time was Pipedrive, when I was making Pipedrive Agile framework reality. So we moved cross-functional teams to tribes, and we had really great ways how to dynamically reteam and build our product in really agile ways. This is our Women's Day celebration, where the guys on the top were singing to engineers, were singing to us, to all of the ladies, and that was an amazing event. But last year I said goodbye to Pipedrive to pursue my future and see how other companies are doing. And as said, I'm also part of the improv group, and every now and then I go to the stage and do something that I haven't prepared, and being in the positions where I don't want to be, but I love to do improvisation theater as well. And these are my kids in the Christmas Eve, and just to get to know me a little bit. But today I'm part of unFIX core team, and unFIX is organizational design pattern language. So I'm not leading a team right now. I'm actually delivering the message and doing community meetups about unFIX. But today I'm using the unFIX, but I'm talking about my experience as a head of engineering. So let's start from checking out what did you answer. Where is my mouse? So let's see. Seems that you don't enjoy much the performance reviews, and you feel that you are in between the knowledge that where is this, why we do those performance reviews. I actually like it because I thought that this answer will be on 5, that like the HR is demanding our performance reviews, and it's not for the employee. But I like that it is for evaluee here, but I will talk more about this, how I made it more. And so let's see. What is the main challenge for you to be in the performance review? Find meaningful and also improvable areas, find the most impactful and motivating praises. Yeah, to frame it as a professional way, participating on it. Yeah, I like it. I will probably, hopefully cover it. And being objective, I totally can relate to that as well. But talking now about performance reviews and how to make people most motivated and driven in your organization, is that I hope that all of us agrees that when we are doing what we actually love to do, and when we feel ourselves that we can contribute to the company in a way that we are professional in that, we know that we are helping, and also that we do what we like to do or what we love to do. So what Ikigai consists of is that you have plenty of things what you love to do, right, in your life. You maybe like to play video games or play with your kids or drink beer with your friends, but you also like to draw, or most probably here, some of you at least like to code as well, I hope at least, or lead people. And there is plenty of things what you love to do in your life, right? And you know it, or you should know it, and you experiment a lot of new things that to learn, do you like it or not, right? That's why I do improvisation theater. But then there are things what the world requires you to do. And you are more happier when you do what the world kind of needs you to do, but then you can also make it what you love to do, right? And the world needs to be cleaned up, right? It's so messy already. But this is not the only thing what the world needs you to do. The world also needs you to grow up the healthy kids or take care of elderly people. So, but you also need money. You need to have the shelter, you need to have food on the table. It's kind of like the thing what you need to do, right? And you need to feel that you're professional, and you need to know that you're growing. Your brain requires that. And when you go into this middle ground of all of those things, then you are doing your Ikigai, or you have found your Ikigai. And you are self-driven because you feel that you are doing something that you really want to do, right? Like the previous presentations also said that you cannot do only fun stuff at work. You have to deliver. You have to earn money. And to find the sweet spot, that is the Ikigai. Why I'm talking about it here? What is performance review? It's about performance review, right? It's about how much did you deliver? And it's about like how professional you are, how much are you on quality side, what have you learned, right? And if you're not finding or doing the sweet spot of what you actually want to do, maybe you are not performing the great way. So what happens in normal performance reviews is that somebody else comes to your world and says that you did this well and you didn't do that well and you should actually contribute to this project, right? I think that you need to go to that project because I think that you need to learn about security. And it's so many times when the managers have said that, and including me, right? Like I said, I'm talking about my own experience. In so many companies, and even right now, Bamboo HR states that the performance review are for managers to assess their evaluees. And in so many cases, people just come in and manager comes in and just states that, what is the feedback about you? And my managers have really made me suffer because of that. They have come, like, I'm talking with my managers weekly basis, and they don't give me feedback. And then all of a sudden, I have performance review, and then they state that, oh, Kadri, by the way, you should do this or that or third. And I'm like, they're sitting there, and I feel like, okay, I should be doing in 6 months, I should be mingling more. And then, but why didn't you say it to me before? The manager said, I don't know. I just didn't think about it. And that is not the way how the manager should do. My other manager really overruled this rule. He hated HR, right? He really said that, oh, the performance review is for, I don't know for whom, like, yeah. I don't care, you know what I feel about you, you know that I appreciate you, let's not do the performance review. But I didn't feel I am appreciated. I felt actually that I went to this review and I had put my effort into it. I wanted to get actually meaningful feedback. And then he said that, well, let's just let's just rush through those questions so that we get it done, so HR has this checkbox marked. And I felt unappreciated because my manager didn't even take this half an hour to think what I can do. So it's both sides, right? It's performance reviews are for evaluees, but it also requires a manager's input. So what ends up having those performance reviews? Two really sad people coming in together. They are feeling uncomfortable because they have some kind of reports in front of them. In the best case scenarios, you have like evaluee and managers reports, both of them next to each other, and both of them have spent some time to think about this person performance for the last period, but they feel so like unpleasant. We have to do this, right? It's for others, but let's do it quickly, and let's try not to insult each other, right? That's, I don't know, I felt it like that. And why managers are doing it like that? Because they are pushed to it. Then they are rushed. Whatever, it doesn't matter how many people you have in your team. It might be that you are supervising one person, or it might mean, like for me, it was 40 people, right? I was the manager of 40 people. I had to do 40 performance reviews in every 6 months. It was a lot. It took me 2 months to run them. And I was pushed, and I didn't know about their everyday work because I was not part of that, right? I was managing, I was doing other projects, and I had to deliver my other projects as well. So even if you have one supervisor, or one supervised person, then you also have days full of other tasks, other projects, and you actually are forced, or you as manager are forced to take that time. And too many times we don't take enough, or we rush into it because we are forced. So let's now get into that, what I changed. And how did I change? And fast forward, it was meaningful discussion in the end. Not with the 40 people, but with a lot of people. Those patterns, what I'm showing, are unFIX patterns, but I'm using them to explain what I felt well before those patterns were implemented. So we in unFIX believe that all these kind of performance reviews, objectives, strategy, vision, all of them are integrated to one united whole. So you cannot do one without another, and you need to deal with them integrated way. You cannot have objectives without updated strategy. You cannot have strategy without connected objectives. You cannot have initiatives or big projects without link to the objectives and so on, right? I believe all of us agree with that. You shouldn't do any work items what is not contributing to the company's strategy or vision. And the other dimension of the same thing is that you should do it in several levels. You should do it on the company level, you should do it in the middle management level, and you should do it on the team level. And now I stop because I don't believe on personal objectives. I believe on team level objectives. With the constraints that if your team is a bunch of project managers who are delivering projects to different customers, yeah, you can't have team level objectives. But if you are engineering team or product engineering team, you probably have your common objective for the next quarter. And I would keep it on the team level. A little bit about why, maybe later. You also want to delegate. You want to use the delegation levels, and you want to be really careful about the delegation levels, right? So we have defined 7 levels of delegations, and the first one is tell, and the 7 is that the employee is doing all the decisions, or the team does all of the decisions. In real life, you have to balance between those different levels. This pattern gives you the way how to communicate about the delegation level. But that's not the point of this talk. In the performance reviews, I would start from sell it with the juniors or newcomers to the company or underperformers to delegate or inquire to most or the best people who actually deliver the value, right? And now let's go back to the Ikigai in this context. Let's imagine we have this team level objective now, and now you have one-on-ones or team meetings or retros, and you ask from a team member, hey, we have this objective. How do you connect with that? How do you internalize this objective for yourself? Do you see something what you love in that? Do you see that how you can contribute? How your work can help this team to deliver that objective? You keep asking questions, you are not telling them, but you are asking the questions because nobody else but the person themselves knows what they want to do, what they love to do, where they find the internal motivation. And you need to push the people to think about it. They need to own their own journey of life, otherwise they will be miserable and underperforming soon. So you just ask the questions. You don't tell, but you also constantly remind them that this is team objective. So maybe when somebody in the beginning of the period thinks that I will fix the code, I will fix the bugs, right? But in halfway in, they realize that, okay, the rest of the team actually requires me to mentor somebody or take some other tasks. And you constantly do this feedback loop. You also need to remind people that this objective is the thing what the company needs you to do. So you need to get paid. You need to remind that the company is here to enable customers to do something, to enable customers to see so much value that they want to pay, right? We don't want to have cash cows, right? We don't want to do that. We want to actually to deliver the value, because if we talk about Ikigai, then we want to deliver, we want to have a meaning in the life, we want to do what we love and where we feel that we can contribute to. So you need to constantly somehow redefine the objectives in a way that the persons in your team find it valuable for themselves as well as the team, as organizations. And then professional engagement, professional growth, or the skills growth. People want to learn different things in different times. Have you seen that? Like, at least in my team, some people really want to deliver on clean code, and they see that they are really good at it. Some people are focusing more on security. Some others are about facilitation. There are plenty of things that are all needed to deliver the good value for the end customer. And that's the beauty of the team, right? It's the united skill sets. And every person can see that what kind of skills they have or they want to pursue, what is actually needed for the team. And yet again, the team objective needs to be value for the customer to the end customer. It can be internal customer, it can be external customer, it doesn't matter, but you need to know for whom you are doing it. And then a little bit about the reflection. How do you actually know that you are moving to the right direction? Like, you as a manager cannot know that what people love to do. And you don't actually know what they did last day, or in the lunch break, or especially in the hybrid or remote environment. You need to delegate that review. You need to agree how people are actually checking and doing this constant feedback loop, what do they expect from their peers, what they expect from their other teams or their customers to see that they are moving to the right direction. All of this also needs to be discussed and thought through, and it actually is enough, at least in my experience, when you just ask these questions. Hey, what do you expect from your peer? And then you already have started the conversations in the water cooler, in the Slack, in some retros. You just need to, as a manager, you just need to make this spark. We are hiring smart people, don't forget that. And then, oh, that's too big a screen, but anyway, and we need feedback loops, right? Constantly, input, output, and we know in engineering, the faster this loop is, the better it is, because it's incremental. And so don't do it in half a year performance reviews. Ask them to do this peer-to-peer constantly. So if we now go a little bit more practical things, Then to conclude, objectives as the team, right? Do it as a team. Yes, it takes a little bit time because you need a couple of hours as a workshop to align those objectives, to brainstorm, to find the key results, and it's kind of like, at least in the beginning, it's really like, I don't want to do it. In my unFIX team, I have a bunch of consultants there who all hate objectives, by the way. And I managed to do objectives workshop with them, and they thanked me later. I was like, good. Because I think that the objectives as team is a key here, because you need to know that you cannot deliver alone. You have your peers, and you are here together. Because if we are alone, go and freelance. Do your own stuff, right? Because you depend on the revenue side, you depend on each other anyway. So you are a team, you are there for the reason, and make sure you take that time on a team level. If you are in the middle level or on the higher level of management, take that time to align those objectives between the teams as well. Don't waste weeks, or like Alan was saying about estimations, yes, there is the same trap that you can keep doing it constantly and you can waste, like, we know the SAFE, right? It's, no, we are not talking about that, but I mean, we know that aligning the objectives can be really time consuming, but have a common sense and align it a little bit. Delegate accountability, both for self-growth and happiness of every person. You are not responsible as a manager for the person's happiness. The person is. That person needs to be happy there, and if they are not, they need to come to you or find a solution why they are not happy. Maybe there is other people who annoys them. Maybe there is themselves who annoys them. Maybe there's a spouse what annoys them. I don't know, but it's up to them to fix it. And your job is to help and listen and coach. And make sure that this kind of self-direct, self-aligned and all of that is known for them. And peer-to-peer feedback is essential, because otherwise they see only managers' feedback, and you take accountability and delegation level back to yourself. So how the process looked like in this performance reviews, or I call them professional reviews or sometimes personal reviews, because all of them are PRs in the end. So I renamed them, and actually my HR department didn't agree in the beginning. And then we agreed with my HR contact that we will keep them on paper as they were, but I will do them on my way. I will test it out. And I did, and it spread out, actually. So first thing is self-reflection, right? I send them the questionnaire that, what did you achieve the last period? With whom did you do it? What did you learn? And I asked them to have a walk for 30 minutes and think only about that period. They themselves, right? They think about the past, and that is so great how they come back and say, wow, I didn't remember that I actually achieved this. Or, yeah, there was this challenge, what was like end of the world challenge like 2 months ago. And yeah, we fixed it. Yeah, I was part of it, but I didn't think about it because we have now new challenges, right? Our engineers, and especially the best performers, are always thinking about the new challenges. They constantly feel about the stress. They constantly feel about that, oh, we are in deep, we cannot let the hand or head down, right? So that, at least in my experience, that's what they feel. And when they don't celebrate, when they don't take this half an hour to celebrate, they burn out. And this is just like this, right? You ask them to celebrate, you ask them to deliver. Sometimes they come back to you and say, I didn't do anything. Then it's time to think that what can you change for the next half a year so that you feel more engaged. Maybe there was pause of investment of your team in the last period from the company side. Maybe that person is unmotivated. Maybe you need to find them some other things what they love to do so that they still can find or do their Ikigai. And sometimes we need to just clean up a mess. And sometimes people don't like it, but you still can celebrate it because you still do good for somebody else, right? Because the world expected you to do this cleaning up. And why I'm asking that who was there with you is that to celebrate others. In perfect case scenarios, these guys or girls, they go then to those, they felt in this half an hour that, yeah, I learned from this or that person something. They actually go and say it. And that feels good, right? And again, you are bonding the team. And the other part of the questionnaire is that, what is next for you? What do you want to learn? Maybe there is, I don't know, you haven't been able to learn about machine learning, you want to do it. And then in the alignment meeting, you can talk about it. But on the self-reflection, these two parts, then the manager reflection. So I made my life easier. I asked them to fill it first, and then I took their information, and then I added my own thoughts. Obviously, I have an opinion about every person in my team, right? I'm not kind of like on the other planet. I am with them. But, and I have opinion because I have my direct contacts with my reports. But I'm reading it, and then I can reflect instead of coming out from nowhere and surprise them. And if people are not actually adding anything there or don't have, or they have missed a lot of information, then I add there, add my reflections there. And then we have alignment meeting. I know a lot of you are thinking now about those underperformers or those people who are overselling or are overconfident. So what to do about them? The reality is that we are coming from different childhoods and cultural backgrounds, and most of the times this kind of attitude comes from there. And you as a manager need to know where this person is coming, hopefully. If you don't, ask. And then gently but firmly push it back. If the person is really underperforming, and it's not only you who thinks that, but also the peers of that person, then you have to, gently, emphatically, you have to deliver this message. And in worst case scenario, you will say that, okay, in the next half a year, you need to improve your quality. You need to improve your commit quality. You need to get less PR request cancellations or whatever, or fixes by others. I need to know that from your peers that they are happy with you. And if it's not happening, I'm sorry, but this is not your place. Because what you do, if you keep the underperformance in your team, is that you are actually making everybody underperforming. So don't keep them, push them, but don't be harsh. You don't know maybe why they are underperforming. You need to go deeper. And some people are overselling and performing. Also, like, respect their ways, how they communicate about themselves. That's just different, right? I'm really humble. I'm always like writing that I'm not doing anything, I'm pointless, I'm worthless, blah, blah, blah. And then my manager is coming back to me, Kadri, come on, right? Like, well, you're actually delivering. So I learned slowly that actually I am delivering. And in my case, in one of my reports, who actually didn't do anything there, he only consumed others' time, was saying in the performance review, because he knew that HR is reading it, he was saying that he has done this. And then I was able to write in this performance review that, okay, you did that, but in reality, it's not good enough. So alignment is important. And if you have this done like once or twice, you end up on having meaningful, good coffee chat with a person who actually is really thankful because they have taken time to think about themselves. Right? And you can start it from yourself. You can just, next time when the performance review comes in, do it for yourself, do this self-reflection part for yourself first. And then ask, maybe some of your trusted member, maybe your friend is there as a report of you, maybe not. But start slowly to test it out. Another question what is always asked is that, what about promotions, right? Performance review is always connected with the promotions. Yes, they are connected in the same way like objectives and strategy are, but we separated them. So performance review is about your growth, your journey, your contribution, while promotion is evaluation of your skill set, of your value in this moment. So performance reviews ended up on kind of decision by me or by the evaluee that do you want to get promotion or should you get promoted? And the promotion process was a little bit separated, like continuing of the performance reviews. And it was about assessing skill set. So we had a competency matrix, competencies, levels, and then peers and managers and the evaluee. All of us evaluated the people around themselves, right? But only those who felt they are ready. Again, self-review and finding your Ikigai. So I'm getting to the end. To conclude, don't take responsibility of others' happiness, right? It's not your job. Your job is to deliver as a team, to make sure that the objective of the team is aligned with the strategy. Your task is to make sure that everybody knows about those objectives, but the happiness is about themselves. They need to make themselves happy. You cannot force them. Delegating the knowing of yourself to level 7. You don't know what the person loves to do. I hate security, or I hate it. I don't hate anymore this topic, but I did. And one of my reports came in and said, yeah, Kadri, I want to now go deeper into the security. I was like, yeah, I was highly thinking about you, but okay, go ahead. So I didn't know, and I couldn't come up with that because I don't like it, so like, and he never talked about it, or we never talked about it, and all of a sudden he was there, and he was really good at this. So they know themselves. Agree what is needed, because you cannot let everybody to just go and do what they want, because then we end up on having endless team offsites, right? Drinking beer, playing video games. We all love to do that. Nobody's paying for that. Sometimes they do, but rarely. And then you know that you want to deliver something useful for your customers, and that is actually makes us even happier than playing video games in the end, right? If we actually make something that is useful for our end customers and our company gets unicorn status as Pipedrive did. Pay fairly, make sure that between the teams, those promotions don't end up too subjective. Promotions are always subjectives. It's always social skill as well to get promotion, but at least part of it. But if you can, and if it is under your responsibility, or you can at least influence that, make sure that you have somehow cross-teams promotion system. That helps, because then people can move around between teams and the siloing is getting less. And keep the promotion process away from performance review if you want to make the performance review meaningful discussion, and if you want people to feel that they are actually growing as a human being while working for your company or for your team. Yes, and let people to have steady growth path, and don't forget to have fun. Just enjoy this, have meaningful discussions, know yourself, and make sure that you do what you love to do. Otherwise, you are not in the Ikigai, and then you are not a good manager either, right? So that's that. I think we have a slider for questions. I know that I told a lot of information. Don't hesitate to join the unFIX.com, because all those patterns what I used are there, and you can join us. So yes, thank you. And yeah, this.
We have about 7 minutes for questions.
Nice. And then it's lunch, so.
Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, you can upvote these questions as well on Slido, and if you would like to do that. Starting with our first one, what do you think about the OKR framework?
Well, I kind of use it. I mean, like I said, objectives needs to be aligned, right? They need to, for me, OKR framework is about, like, I take it really lean. Every framework I try to take as lean as possible. That's part of unfixing things. But you need to have some kind of way how you feel as a person, that how do you contribute to the success of the company and what is expected of you to do so. So what I'm using from there is that I have, or we have, these objectives on the company level, and then we try to have key results as well. The key results are even trickier for me because, yeah, I don't want to waste time for that, the key results. I want to feel, I don't feel that we are contributing and we are moving to the right direction, because I think in the end, it's also about ENPS, NPS, and the revenue on your bank account. So these three metrics are the key for me, and the rest of them are all leading indicators. Yeah.
Okay. What if some underperformers strongly disagree with you, even if the manager has done the proper work of collecting proof, peer-to-peer feedback, etc.?
Yeah, been there, done that, that somebody is saying that, Kadri, you don't know anything, you are not even an engineer yourself. So I do collect the feedback, I collect feedback from the others. And in the end, it's up to me. Then I am telling, right? Then, if we have that kind of situation, I pause. I'm checking in, is it me who don't just like that person? Happens. Or is it like, I don't know, he has said, or he or she has said something personal to me? Or is it about the team? And if it is about the team, then I'm right? So this is my job to take these people out from the equation. That is my job. And the first time is difficult, but the next time, unfortunately, gets easier. Yeah. So you just, you understand that they reject your feedback in the beginning. That's human. But then you keep saying the same thing with other words. You give time for them to learn. And if they don't change, if they don't get this feedback from you, there is nothing to do. They are in the wrong place. Or you are in the wrong place. It depends. If several people start to reject your feedback, then it's something with you. If it is exception that you are getting rejected, then it's about them. Yeah.
People seem to like this next one. Why is no one having a good time in my team? I specifically requested it.
Good one. Yeah, you request to have fun. Yeah, you cannot force, right? You cannot force them to be happy. Are you sure they are not having fun, or they are not having good times? How do you measure that? Maybe the definition of good time is different for you and them. For me, it's about doing improv. And honestly, my team doesn't want to do improv. So what is wrong with them, right? So no, I think it's about define the good times, make sure that they are happy, or like ask what makes them happy. Yeah?
Okay.
I don't know.
Bense asks, why is it a best practice to disconnect frequent performance reviews from promotion process? Shouldn't these reviews be the main input for the promotion?
I'm not sure, did I miss that? Because for me, performance review is about the growth, right? And promotion is promoting somebody to the next level. If you promote somebody to senior just because they have done a great job in the last 3 months, you pollute your seniorship. Because the previous senior, when they got the senior, was much more senior than the new one. That's fact, right? So you need to make sure that you have classification, what means senior, and if that person is showing you these skills and competencies and behaviors, what you expect from senior as a company, then they get promotion. But it's not related to their past 3 months growth. They have done an amazing job, but maybe they were in the wrong spot before, maybe they got mishired to the wrong level, doesn't matter. But if you promote somebody because of the growth to seniorship, then you make other seniors unhappy. Been there, done that, seen that. seniors start to leave because everybody are now seniors, and I don't want to be in the same level. Or you need to, like what we actually do in our industry is that we have staff engineers, we have, I don't know, principal engineers, king engineers, I don't know what is the next. And that's what we do, right? But we shouldn't, and in Pipedrive and in Demodesk we didn't anymore. We stopped doing that. So they're actually senior engineer means senior. And when they get hired by somebody else, they are maybe principals. But at least we know that we have same level. So that's why. Yeah.
Great. We have time for one last quick question. What would you recommend for teams when there is a lack of trust?
That depends. Trust on which level? Is it about the team members or between you and the team members? But the key is to give time and space and hear them out. And accept that they have the right to think what they do or how they do. So if they feel that this way of working sucks, then it sucks for them. And now it's their responsibility, together with you and the team, to find ways how it would be slightly better. And then recognize this improvement. Because the trust disappears when, I think that, when either there are lies or dishonesty, or there is overrule of your thoughts constantly, right? So if you feel that you are overruled constantly, you don't want to bring up new ideas, and then you don't trust them anymore. Or if people are playing political games and all of that. So be honest, be yourself, listen, give time. That's normal. You need to build trust, and it's so easy to break it, and then you need to restart or rebuild it. Yes.
Wonderful. I have some gifts for you.
Oh.
First one is fancy tea for being such a great
Thank
speaker. And then a portrait of you. Let's hold that up
nice
for
eyes.
the
Nice
people
eyes.
at home.
Thank you. Thank you. Really me. Thank you.